Hello, and welcome to another video. This time it's about my micro camper, which is a Peugeot partner micro camper, and I've owned it approaching 2 years, and it has caused me quite a few problems, which I've spent thousands of pounds sorting out. And a continual problem that I'm having is the fact that the DPF, the whole word DPF, what they are is just horrendous. Always better to get an earlier vehicle that hasn't got one of these on, because it will be far more reliable and it won't keep letting you down and annoying you. So the bullshit that I talk about is each time I drive anywhere in this vehicle, the hazard warning light comes on, then an audible alarm goes off, and the information display screen will say at risk of clogging. I'm sure most people, if you own a Peugeot partner or a Citroen Berlingo, will have had this problem. In fact, probably any vehicle that has got a DPF filter and that whole system of keeping the pollution down, they're just a nightmare, and they always go wrong. So this risk of clogging, it flashes up, you think, oh no, straight to the garage. I've done it myself. But because it's happened so often now, I know it's wrong, because it's just been serviced and the DPF would have been cleaned as part of that service, as it was, because that particular garage had already worked on this vehicle and sorted out the nightmares that the vehicle had shortly after me buying it. So anyway, fully serviced, major service, and within 80 miles of that service, up comes the sign. First of all, you get the triangle appear, or go ding, and then you'll also get the audible alarm, which will keep going off, and then you get the lovely message on your display screen saying at risk of clogging. So that will come on. Ordinarily you would pull over when that happens, but because it's happened so many times to me, I know it's a false alarm. The reason I know that is because I bought myself one of these, which I will show you and demonstrate. It's an OBD2 fault code reader. So if you get one of these yourself, they're well worth the money. They're about £30, and they will save you a lot of time, worry, effort, money, and all those things. So I'd already checked before this had kept going off, the alarms and the lights and all the rest of it, and I'd spoke to my garage about it, and they said, look, it's a common fault on these. Let us know if it happens again. Anyway, I kind of got sick of going to that garage. I didn't want to pay the £80 diagnostics on it each time I went there. So instead, I read a load and I found about these OBD2 readers, and really simple to use. I'll show you how to use one. So anyway, I got back from that other trip and plugged it in, followed the instructions, and not to my surprise, it read no faults. So no faults at all were there. I could have taken that to a garage. I would have put their reader on it and it would have said exactly the same. Because I was quite friendly with that garage, I said, look, could you just give me some peace of mind? I've bought this reader from, I think it was Euro Car Parts or something like that. I just want to make sure, I just want to doubly make sure of you. He said, yeah, it won't take, don't worry, we're not going to charge you. We know you've had, I've spent a lot of money with them. And so he said, yeah, I've checked it. He said, obviously the reader we got is a lot more detailed than the one that you've bought. And he said there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, no faults. It says exactly what it says on the MOT, the notes, that there's nothing different. all absolutely fine. You've got nothing to worry about. So I just thought I would share that with you. It might be helpful, because at the back of your mind, especially when I just bought this vehicle, I thought this is going on, that's going on, and I just seem to be forever taking it to different garages. I'd be away somewhere, there's another garage, I'd come back, and you know, again, it's on and on and on, and it was truly horrendous. But as I say, by just getting one of these, keeping it in your vehicle, it's just straightforward. You literally just plug it in, and it tells you if there are any faults. Obviously, if there is a fault, go to the garage, get it sorted. No fault, don't need to worry about it. So, you know, this is hopefully, as I said, useful to you. The last time this went off was the last time I took the vehicle out. I done a video called Epping, Essex, Then and Now, and you can clearly hear the audible alarm going off, not just once but twice, and then pretty much all the way home. Every now and again it do the same. But when there is a fault, your vehicle will slow down. You'll struggle to keep the revs up, and you'll know there's something wrong. Whereas this was driving perfectly fine, and I've been up and down motorways with what I'm doing, and it'll still go off. I mean, people will tell you, take it for a run on a motorway, clear it out. That is not a fail-proof thing. And so just check it. If you've got that reader with you, just check it, keep it in your car, and no worries. And I will demonstrate to you now how to do that. So if you bear with me, I'll show you what this thing looks like. So as you can see, brand new, still in the box. And I've used it 2 or 3 times. Obviously manual with it, straightforward instructions. And there you go, there's a receipt. And this is it, that's all it is. Just this little device. So a couple of buttons there, off, on, test. And this is where you plug it in. And on a Peugeot partner, it's in the glove box. You just plug it straight in there. And I shall show you how to do that, if you just bear with me for one moment. Right. So, as I was saying, I haven't checked this since my last trip. So, let's see what this reading says. So, we're in my messy glove box, which everyone has. That there is the 16-pin data link Q1. Plug the OB2 in firmly, and it will give you that information. So I'm just waiting for it to do its thing. Make sure that's in. Yeah, right, so we've got what we want on there. Usually it will come up. I'm just waiting for it. So I was saying, you need to make sure your ignition is off. You don't want it running when you actually plug this in. It just powers itself up with that link. So once you've got that reading there, you want to turn on the ignition. There you go. So I'm doing that, but don't start the engine. Right, so ignition is now on, and right, just press enter. So now it's scanning. So you've got that DTC on the menu. So I'm just looking for these. That's all it's coming up with, DTC. So that's fine. Press enter. Yeah, so as you can see, when you press enter, you got those lovely words. Ready? No codes. No codes. No codes. So it means there's no fault codes. There's nothing at all there. So that's as I expected it to be. As I say, previously to me being here, the trip I was on, I come back from, I was getting the messages on the display. I was getting the audible alarm and risk of filter clogging, all of that sort of stuff. So as I said, that's it. It's as simple as that. So it's about £30. You've got simple instructions that go with you. If you have got fault codes, which I'm glad to say I haven't, they're all listed here. And so there you go. I'll just turn my ignition off now. So that should just go back to there. Unplug that. I shall continue in the back of my vehicle. So that's good news. That's a relief, I'm glad to say. I've got nothing to worry about. Just as a precaution, I went through that procedure and just followed the instructions again to make sure I got the same reading, which I did. And so all is well in the world for me. And as I said, it's probably something that would be useful for a lot of people. Check it out. I've been, the MOT that I had when after the 80 miles, I started getting this reading, or not reading on the OBD2, but the reading on the vehicle's dash lights and displays. So that was back in February, so it's quite a while ago now. Ever since then, they keep coming on like that all the time. So the fault is a false reading, which I may get sorted on my next MOT. But for now, it will suffice for me. It's fine. I know everything's all right. I can check that anytime I need to, just to reassure myself for peace of mind. And yeah, I say it's well worth getting one of those readers. It covers all sorts of different all sorts of different problems and faults that you may find. So you can just plug it in, go through the procedure, and then check out if there is a code, and it will tell you what it is. And as I say, there's so many different things it will tell you. I just want to let you know this isn't a sponsored video in any way. As I've said before, I just thought it might be useful to some people out there who are having this situation, and they're looking at social media or Facebook, and it says, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that, and all the rest of it. I've been through all of that, and occasionally they're correct. But with things like this, as I say, get your own diagnostics reader, check it. If you're really concerned, you can check it through your garage, but I'm sure, like me, you'll just be reassured with this. I use my vehicle all the time now. I go up and down the country, wherever I like, with this thing going ding, and it still bugs me. But as I say, I know it's just a faulty wire, a fault problem with the system, which I'm just trying to put out of my mind. If it makes that ding, I'll just turn the music up. Anyway, on that note, I hope this has been of use to you. If so, I would much appreciate it if you could give me a like, ring the bell, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. I will speak to you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.